Please welcome Wayne Kelley. Please welcome Ethan.
And Ethan, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. Introducing peaceful protester and Santa Monica City Council candidate Wade Kelley.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt, and thank you, Mike. Hello, my name is Wade Kelley. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. I want to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica, and I hope you do too. That's right. We can do better. Let's see. I can do better by having a better picture too. That's right. We can do better. We can make sure that everybody has a decent place to live in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. We don't need to say, oh, the rich people are doing fine, so that's all right. The poor people don't need a place to live. That's what a lot of people think. That's what a lot of people say. The poor people, if they're not living in a place, that's because they don't want to live in a place. They don't want to live in a house. They don't want to live in an apartment or a room. They just want to live on the streets. Well, that's not exactly the truth. I've met many homeless people, many homeless human beings that would be very happy to have their own little cubicle, their own little studio apartment. I mean, most of these people wouldn't even mind if they didn't have a kitchen. People don't need kitchens that much anymore. You could have a microwave and, you know, the basics. But it would be nice if everybody had a decent place to live. We can do that because we're not a third world country. We can make sure that everybody has a decent place to live. Even right here in Santa Monica. Santa Monica that has been dragging its feet about building affordable housing for generations. That's right. They need to get with it and start moving forward and start integrating their city, our city. Today in the Santa Monica Daily Press, they had a little question and answer thing for me. Good to see you, Pete. Thank you. And I answered some of their questions, the Daily Press. The other days, they had people with photos in color, but today they decided, since I'm on here, they're going to just make it black and white. Black and white. They're painting politics in black and white. That's right. That's from that P.T. Barnum show. Anyway, so Ellis Raskin got on the same edition that I'm on, so they put his photograph in black and white also. Sorry, Ellis. You should have been on a different day when they liked people. Anyway, I'm happy to be in the Santa Monica Daily Press. I hope you read it, even though that Santa Monica Daily Press is a little biased, and they are. He seems to think that Santa Monica shouldn't take any responsibility for the homeless population here, as many people in Santa Monica believe, and actually Matthew Hall, who I guess is the publisher of Santa Monica Daily Press, when I said to him, can you believe they criminalize sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings? He said, well, they can still sleep in the streets. I said, wait a minute. So you think it's all right? How you doing? Did you go there? Did you go?
Everything is under trial.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, I hope I'll try and help you figure it out this next week, and see if we can't reach some people that are reachable.
I hope I can eat.
I can give you $5.
I hope so. You know, I'm not having any bags or rugs or whatever, but I can try to, stay afloat.
Try to stay afloat. Do the best you can to stay afloat. I wish you would have been here earlier. I got some hamburgers, but that might help get something.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
No, I will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow there is a forum for the Black Agenda. There's a forum over at 1112 7th Street in Santa Monica. So if you're around at 1 p.m., try to go over to 1112 7th Street in Santa Monica. There will be a Black Agenda forum, and I will be speaking there with other candidates. Black Agenda, an organization here in Santa Monica, and their candidates forum will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. and I will be speaking there. And yeah, that should be good. But I'll be back here on Monday. But I'm going to take Sunday off.
Oh, you going on vacation?
What? Yeah. Yeah. There's the article they wrote, the questions that they wrote for me. The Santa Monica Daily Press sent out questions to all 10 of the Santa Monica City Council candidates, and they posted two every day, 2 of the candidates' answers every day, and today they posted mine and Ellis Raskin's. And you know, there's some good people running. Definitely we need to vote out Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre, because they voted to criminalize sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings, as though that will be the answer for housing, the housing crisis, the homelessness crisis. And now, anybody who is sleeping with a sleeping bag or a bedroll in this city can be subject to citation or even arrest. And that's just a shame. That's inhumane. That's cruel. And that's because of Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre. And they have to be voted out. Because we need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. You know, for generations, Santa Monica has been pushing poor people out. The population here in 1970 was 88,000. Today, the population of Santa Monica is just over 90,000. So while the rest of California grew by 20 million over 54 years, Santa Monica grew by just over 2,000. Now that shows what they've been doing. They've been saying, hey, we got ours, now you stay out. You people get out.
Did they move south or north?
Who? The people?
Yeah, people who they...
The people they pushed out? They pushed out into downtown or into the desert. A lot of poor people moved out in the desert where they could buy housing in the last few generations. And that's why we have a lot more people living out there where the heat is very hot. You know, there's about last week there was about a 40-degree difference between the temperature here on the coast and the temperature out in the upper desert. And so we're going to have more people. If the climate keeps getting worse, as many scientists are saying it will, then we're going to have more people move to the coast, move closer to the coast, because that's where the temperate climate is. And we need to keep integrating the coast. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and we have mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches. And so we need to keep working. We need to keep working to make things better. We need to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. And that's what Kamala Harris wants to do. She wants to build 3 million units of housing in her first term in office, ending this housing crisis. Now, how many are we going to build, Santa Monica? How many affordable units of housing are we going to build here? Right now, Santa Monica, you're falling way behind your planned amount of affordable housing units that you projected in your housing elements in 2022 after you got your zoning rights back from the state of California, because of course you weren't able to put a plan forth that had enough affordable housing. So the state of California took away your zoning rights for 2 months. And then after you complied, you said you were going to build 6,500 units of affordable housing by 2029, and you are far behind, Santa Monica. You're building a lot of rich people's housing. You're not having a problem with that. Everybody wants to make a profit. Everybody wants to make the money, but they don't want to build affordable housing for people here. And we need to change that, because we're right next to our public beaches, and we need to stop segregating these coastal cities, and we need to start integrating them more.
Stay safe.
Thank you. You stay safe.
Tomorrow.
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
So we need to stand with Kamala Harris instead of Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court in their Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling that said cities can now criminalize homelessness if they want. In her dissent of that Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling by the Supreme Court, Justice Sotomayor said to keep people from sleeping is cruel and unusual punishment and goes against the 8th Amendment of our Constitution. So what are we going to do, Santa Monica? Are we going to help Kamala Harris build 3 million units of affordable housing in her first term in office? How many are we going to build, Santa Monica? Let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris is her name. Let's put a woman in the White House. We don't need more of the same. She'll stand up for equal rights for you and me. And she'll stand up for our democracy, so let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris, 2024. Kamala Harris, 2024. Yeah. Kamala Harris wants to stand up for the working poor and the poor, and those who need a lift up, a hand up. Kamala Harris says, the strength of a leader is not measured by the people you beat down. The strength of a leader is measured by the people you lift up. And she wants to lift up those that are in need. She wants to raise taxes on the rich. 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 Oh, I know it's a simple song, but it's a good one, and one that we need to teach our leaders, our public servants. And Kamala Harris wants to do that. She wants to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations, and we need to do that because there's no reason for rich people to be having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets. We can do better than that. Let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris is her name. Let's put a woman in the White House. We don't need more of the same. She'll stand up for equal rights for you and me. And she'll stand up for our democracy, so let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris, 2024. Kamala Harris, 2024. Yeah. You know, when you think about it, there's really no other option. That other guy is a lying criminal who tried to overthrow our democracy. We don't need somebody like that running a constitutional democratic republic. He doesn't believe in the Constitution, and he doesn't believe in democracy. So we don't need somebody like that running our country. He says terrible things every day about our country. If you don't vote for me, this country's going in the crapper. It's already terrible. He said, he went into Detroit yesterday and said, if you don't vote for me, the whole country's going to end up like Detroit. And I guess Detroit is not the best city in the whole world, but there's some good things about it. And we need to keep working to make every city better. We need to keep working to integrate and make sure everybody has equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. And that's what Kamala Harris wants to do. Let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris is her name. Let's put a woman in the White House. We don't need more of the same. She'll stand up for equal rights for you and me. And she'll stand up for our democracy. So let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris, 2024. Kamala Harris, 2024. Yeah, peace. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. We are not going back. And we don't need to go back to laws that criminalize poverty, criminalize homelessness. And that's what they're doing here in Santa Monica. That's what Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre and others have done by criminalizing sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings. That is just cruel and inhumane. And we need to vote out Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre because they don't believe in human rights. They don't stand for human rights. Phil Brock said, I have to think of the business interests. Well, if you're thinking of business interests more than human rights, you're not thinking of human rights at all. You need to stand up for the people in your city, even if they are unhoused. And let me remind you, if you are unhoused, if you are homeless, and you are on this public promenade, you have the same rights as the richest person in the whole wide world. Sure, they will lock up the public chairs here and make it hard for homeless people to have a place to sit. Sure, they will pass laws that say you can't have a sleeping bag or a bedroll. But we need to remind people these are human beings and they have the same rights as the richest person in the world. And to make laws like criminalizing sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings, that is just cruel and inhumane. That's why we have to get rid of Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre. Let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris is her name. Let's put a woman in the White House. We don't need more of the same. She'll stand up for equal rights for you and me. And she'll stand up for our democracy. So let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris, 2024. Kamala Harris, 2024. Yeah. That's right. She wants to work for everybody, not just the rich and the powerful. And we know that other guy, it just wants to work for the rich and the powerful. And he's proven that over and over again. And he even wants to put Elon Musk in charge of making sure how the money is spent. That's the last thing this country needs, is somebody like Elon Musk running our budget. That's right. He would try to get a nice profit for all the rich people and make sure the poor people are left in the streets. You know, Elon Musk boycotted the lawyers that worked for the homeless people in Grants Pass versus Johnson. He boycotted those lawyers because they represented homeless people in their in the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling, and that is just a shame. He has proven over and over that he doesn't care for poor people, and he doesn't want to help lift them out of poverty. He just wants to keep making a profit, and that's why he moved his organization over to Texas, where their minimum wage is $7.25 an hour still. And that's right, he takes advantage of poor people, and we don't need somebody like that being involved in our government. That guy we had last time was bad enough. But if he brought somebody like Elon Musk with him, and they say Elon Musk is going to be our first trillionaire. That's the last thing this country needs. We need to raise taxes on the rich, raise taxes on the rich. You know, I think I have a healthy disdain for very rich people. You know, I was watching the Dodger game, and yay Dodgers, Dodgers won, and I was enjoying it, great game. But I wouldn't have any problem raising taxes on every one of those players, and I hope they wouldn't mind it, because they're doing quite fine, and there are poor people sleeping in the streets. And if you have billionaires having space races while poor people are sleeping in the streets, you need to change your business model. And that's what we need to do here in the United States of America. We need to raise taxes on the rich and make sure that everybody can have a decent life. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Ah, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna die. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Ah, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime. Not yet. Unless you're sleeping with a sleeping bag and a bedroll here in Santa Monica and you're homeless, then it is a crime. That's a shame. Inhumane. But I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather live in a box in the bottom of a ditch than be some stealing, cheating on some bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. I'd rather walk around without a stitch than be some democracy overthrowing son of a bitch. I'd rather be poor than be filthy rich. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Ah, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Ah, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye someday. Hopefully not tonight. Let's put it off a little while if we can help it. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil. Bloodsuckers. Some of them are just sick. They're like hoarders or alcoholics or drug addicts. They get a little bit of money and they just got to get more and more and more and more. More and more and more and more and more. More and 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 more. Let's look at Elon Musk. They say he's worth about $200 billion. How did that happen? Just a lot of hard work, I guess. Well, what we need to do is raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody in America can have a decent place to live. That's right. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody in America can have a job that pays a living wage. That's right. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies and make sure that everybody can have good quality health care. That's right. So we just raise taxes taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies. And make sure that everybody can have a good public education. That's right. Good to see you, Joey. So we just raise taxes on Elon Musk and all of his billionaire buddies. But we will leave Elon with 999 million and see if he can get by. Well, I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. One more time, everybody sing along. Here we go. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Hoo-hoo! And I'll keep on working at it. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. It just pays a little bit, and that's more than enough for me. And I would be helping homeless human beings and other poor people as well. I'd help the other people also, but mostly the poor and the working poor, because they are the ones who need a lift up. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he said that the test of our progress is not whether we add to the abundance of those who have much. The test of our progress is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. And if that is the test, Santa Monica, we have failed. We have 1% of our population sleeping in the streets. And we need to do better, Santa Monica. We need to make sure that everybody can have a decent life here. You need to build affordable housing. You need to make it easier for the people who work here in Santa Monica to live in Santa Monica. You don't want to have a place where only the property owners and the business owners and the homeowners are allowed to vote. And that's the way it goes when all of your workers come from outside the city. That's right. That makes for a bad democracy. And that's why you need to keep integrating. Right now, Santa Monica, you've got about 4% of your people, 4% of your population are Black Americans, and about 33% or more of the homeless people are Black Americans. So that means we're pushing out a lot more people of color out into the streets. And we need to help lift them up right here in Santa Monica, where we have a large number of Black Americans that are homeless. We need to keep working to make sure that everybody can thrive and survive, that we keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. We don't have to settle for things the way they are. We have to keep moving forward. We are not going back. It's about peace. It's about love. What? Peace and love. Oh, you said go Trump? He's a lying criminal who tried to overthrow our democracy. So I don't think we need him back in office. So we need to work. We need to work towards somebody who wants to work for the whole population here in the United States of America, not just the richest 1%. That's why we need to, let's put a woman in the White House. Kamala Harris is her name. Let's put a woman in the White House. We don't need more of the same. She'll stand up for equal rights for you and me. And she'll stand up for our democracy. So let's put a woman in the White House. Yeah. Kamala Harris, 2024. Kamala Harris, 2024. Yeah. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. There's a reason that young black men are 8 times more likely to go to prison than young white men here in the United States of America. And it is something that we need to work on. We need to keep spending more money on education. Here in California, we are ranked 21st in spending on public education. That is a shame, California. California, we are the 6th largest economy in the whole wide world, and we are ranked 21st in spending on public education. We need to spend more money on public education so we spend less money on incarceration. I mean, it costs a whole lot more to incarcerate somebody than to educate somebody, and we need to spend a lot more on low-income area schools, on services and salaries for those low-income area schools until rich people want to send their kids to those schools. Then you will know you have done enough. But until then, we need to keep spending more money on education. New York State spends about $33,000 per public school student. California, we spend about $18,000 per public school student. That is a shame. We got to do better. We have to spend more money on making things better for everybody right here and work harder towards it. We're living in California, the land of peace and love. Living in California, place the whole world's dreaming of. Living in California, everything's mostly okay. Living in California, another beautiful sunshine day. Kind of foggy here. It was kind of cool and foggy. Don't let the Trump get you in a slump. We got rid of his hump. We're going to be all right. Let's not vote him back in. We don't need somebody who doesn't believe in democracy running our country. No, no, no. We're in the land of surf and sand, movie stars, electric cars, and it's a beautiful Santa Monica night. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure out just a little bit out of our minds. Living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Let's not follow them, no. Living in California, everything's mostly all right. Living in California, I'm falling the promenade tonight. Now, don't get me wrong. We got a lot of great things going on here in California. California is the second most diverse state in the whole country, behind Hawaii. We have people from different backgrounds, different races, different religions, different ethnicities, different beliefs, different genders, all living together in virtual harmony. But everybody knows there's some things we need to be working on. California, we have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country, and we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. Now, that ain't right. That ought to be a crime. There's no reason for so few people to have so much when so many people have nothing at all. We can do a lot better than that. We're not going to criminalize our way out of this housing crisis, this homelessness crisis. Governor Newsom stood with Trump's ultra-conservative Supreme Court in Grants Pass versus Johnson, and he asked them to give him the power to criminalize homelessness, and they did just that. In her dissent of that ruling, Justice Sotomayor said to keep people from sleeping is cruel and unusual punishment and goes against the 8th Amendment of our Constitution. And Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre went right along with them. They need to be voted out of office. You know, California, we are the 6th largest economy in the whole wide world, and we are ranked 21st in spending on public education. We need to change that. We need to spend a lot more money on public education. Spend more money on public education so you spend less money on incarceration. We can do better. Come on, California, let's lead the way. Show that progressive government can help lift people out of poverty and can do great things for people. We can do it. We're living in California with people of all kinds. Living in California, sure out a little bit out of our minds. Ooh, living in California, things could be a whole lot worse. Living in California, rest of the country's moving in reverse. Hey, John, good to see you. Living in California, everything's mostly okay. Living in California, just dancing the night away. Woo! Living in California, the place the whole world's dreaming of. Living in California, go out and spread some peace and love. Yeah, yeah, hey. That's right, we can do better. We can make sure that everybody has the basics. This isn't communism I'm talking about. Sure that lying criminal would call it communism. But it's not communism. It's good old-fashioned liberal progressivism. It's that kind of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Back in 1944, the great president Franklin Delano Roosevelt gave a speech called The Second Bill of Rights. You can watch that speech on YouTube right now. It's on there. In that speech in 1944, Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, "It is time for a second Bill of Rights, where every American has the right to a decent place to live." This was in 1944 he gave that speech. Every American has the right to a job that pays a living wage. Every American has the right to health care. And every American has the right to a good education. He gave that speech in 1944, and we haven't reached those goals today. So I'm not talking about communism. I'm talking about good old-fashioned liberal democratism. Liberal, and this is even before they said progressive. Just good old liberal democratism. That's what it is. And we need our liberal Democrats to stand up for these goals and make sure that we work towards them every day. And that's why I'm proud that Kamala Harris is running, because she wants to work towards those goals. She wants to work towards making sure that everybody can have a decent place to live, and that if you work one job, you have the benefits of a good life in the United States of America. And she wants to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations, and she wants to stop the gouging by so many people that are selling things to people. And I'm sure she wants to make sure that health care is better ran and that it is open to more people. You know, there are still 10 states that don't have any health care for poor people. That's right. They say, well, listen, if you're poor, you don't really need to be healthy, do you? Because if you're too poor, you just shouldn't even worry about having teeth or health. That's what they say in those states. And we need to keep working to make sure that our health care system is better here in California as well. But I got a crown in my tooth yesterday. I got a crown on my tooth, and I'm a poor person. I've got that Medi-Cal, and also I'm old, so I have that Medicare as well. But I don't know if that goes for dentistry. A little bit of it might. My point is that California does have some things for its poor, does have some health insurance for poor people, unlike 10 of the states in the United States that still don't have poor people insurance, health insurance. But we need to keep working to make things better, and we certainly don't need to criminalize homelessness. And that's what Governor Newsom has done, and that's what Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre have done here in Santa Monica, and that's why we need to vote them out. That's why I am running for Santa Monica City Council, because I want to stand up for human rights. I don't think it's nice to punch somebody when they're down and out. I think it's better to try and lift people up, get them involved, make sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Love is but a song we sing, and fear the way we die. We can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. No, the bird is on the wing, and we need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, but we shall surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, then you will understand. We hold the key to love and fear in our trembling hands. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at our command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. That's right. We got to keep spreading it around, spreading the love around. That's all I'm talking about, making things better for everybody. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy.
That's right.
That's right. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. You know, our Constitution talks about making things better. Keep growing. Our Constitution starts off, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. That's right. Some people thought it was perfect just the way it was, even though it was only for rich white guys at the time who owned property. But some people said maybe we better keep working to make it more perfect. Keep working, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. That's right, they were talking about making things better for everybody. Sure, it only benefited rich white guys who owned property at the time, but over the course of the history of this country, we have been working towards making things better for everybody. We have been pushing back on the bullies of this country. We made sure that we ended slavery. We made sure we ended child labor for the most part. And we made sure that women had the right to vote. We made sure that everybody had the same rights, no matter your race, your religion, your ethnicity, your beliefs, whether you were rich or poor, whether you were gay or straight, whether you were disabled or able-bodied, or your disability was mental or not. We all have the same rights. Some of these people say to me, these homeless people are all mentally ill. Well, I hope you know that in 1990, we passed a law in this country called Americans with Disabilities Act. That means everybody has the same rights, whether you are mentally disabled or whether you have a substance abuse disorder. We all have the same rights in this country, and we need to stand up for those rights. And these people that talk about, well, we just need to get the mentally ill people off the streets. Well, you can't just go around and take people off the streets if they seem a little mentally ill, or somebody might have already taken me off the streets, right? But we need to stand up for everybody's rights in this country. We need to keep making sure that people's rights are not abused, and that's why when you pass a law, hey, how you doing, Diaka? Good to see you, peace.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. And that's why when you pass a law criminalizing sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings, it's just inhumane and cruel. And Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre need to be removed from office. They need to be voted out. We need to work towards having leaders that want to work towards a better day for everybody. Keep promoting equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity till we get there, because we haven't gotten there yet. Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope we will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how we're gonna do it, only know we're gonna try. Gonna build some housing from a little wood. Gonna build some housing, I think we should. Gonna build some housing, gonna see it through. I don't know how we're gonna do it. It's gonna take me and you and you and you and you. That's right, there are plenty of people working for the city of Santa Monica that can figure out solutions for housing the homeless and building affordable housing. They can figure out funding. Santa Monica has a way of finding funding for things that they think are important all the time. But we need to give those people the task of working towards housing the homeless and building affordable housing and standing up for human rights. Because if you're working in the direction of human rights, you're heading in the right direction. But if you're working in the direction of trying to vilify and criminalize poor people and homeless people, if you're trying to criminalize poverty, you are moving in the wrong direction, and you need to be told, you need to be voted out of office, and we need to stand up for everybody's rights. You are my sunshine. my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Hello! You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Hey! Thank you, please. That's right, we got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing leads to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. What I want to say to you is, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. And tell me what you're gonna do with your foolish pride when you're by yourself all alone. Once you tell somebody the way you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. What I want to say to you is, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be alright if you only will. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. We'll make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Someone's always crying, there'll always be pain. Some need the sunshine and some need rain. The world keeps spinning, we can't slow it down. but we can help each other while it's turning around and make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Can't solve every problem, can't stop every crime. Oh, we can't turn back time. The world keeps spinning, we can't slow it down, but we can help each other while it's turning around. Make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better. Never make it perfect, but make it a little bit better as we go. Make it a little bit better as we go. Sometimes you make it a little worse by playing the wrong chord, and then you make it a little bit better, and then how you doing, peace? Staring right at 2024 AD, as if man's atrocities toward man had no history. But just a glance at 2024 BC, we see traces of man's atrocities toward man. It's no mystery. All for one fire. There's no way we reach our greatest heights unless we heed the call. Me for you, you for me. There's no chance for world salvation unless conversation is peace. We can't stand, watch, and say, no, this can't be. When there's a plan by any means for the cleansing of one's ethnicity, and we shouldn't act as though we neither hear nor see. Like the Holocaust of 6 million Jews and 150 million blacks during slavery. All for one fire. There's no way we'll reach our greatest heights unless we heed the call. Me for you, you for me. There's no chance for world salvation unless conversation is peace. Whether publicly or privately convened, may love, positivity, and life's preservation be the basic theme. And should you give your trust to some prophet in life, give him trust, but your faith must stay with one who gave the ultimate sacrifice. All for one fire. There's no call me for you, yet for me there's no chance for salvation unless conversation is peace. Conversation, conversation, peace. Conversation, conversation, peace. Well, I dusted that one off. There was some dust on it. That's Stevie Wonder, Conversation Piece. If you haven't heard it for a while, listen to that. It is a masterpiece, that Conversation Piece by Stevie Wonder. She's a long gone. I'm lonesome blue. I went down to the river to watch the fish swim by. When I got to that river, so lonesome I could die, oh Lord. And I jumped in that river, that doggone river was dry. She's a long gone, I'm lonesome blue. I had me a woman, she couldn't be true. She made me for my money, then she made me blue. Oh, man needs a woman he can lean on, oh no Lord. And I'm a leaning post, she done left and gone. She's a long gone, I'm lonesome blue. I'm gonna find me a river just as cold as ice. And when I find me that river, I'm gonna pay the price, oh Lord. I'm going down in it 3 times and only coming up twice. She's a long gone, I'm lonesome blue. She told me on a Sunday she was checking me out. Round about Monday she was nowhere about. Oh, here it is Tuesday, ain't had no news, oh Lord. And I got those long gone but not forgotten blues. She's a long gone, I'm lonesome blue. Peace. That's right, we got to keep working towards a better day for everybody. Keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity, health care for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. People say you can't make any laws against the Second Amendment. Back in 1934, they passed some laws right here in the United States of America that outlawed Tommy guns, sawed-off shotguns, cane guns, all sorts of gadget guns. And we need to have smart people standing up and saying, you don't need weapons of war on our streets. We don't need high-capacity magazines, and we need to make sure that everybody has that every gun sold has a universal background check, and make sure that people that are having problems don't need to be getting guns. We can do better in this country. We can make sure that we have common sense gun laws. Not everybody's going to have their guns taken away. But listen, we have over 420 million guns in this country, more guns than people. So we can certainly take away some guns, and we'll be doing okay. But we need some common sense gun laws, and we need to say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. Tell those gun pimp boys take their killing toys and get the hell away. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. If you don't know what the NRA is, it's the National Rifle Association. And they're a big reason why we're not having any common sense gun laws passed in this country. That's right. We need to stand up against the NRA and tell our leaders, our public servants, to do their jobs and bring some common sense gun laws. Let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Too many people have been dying. Too many sad songs have been sung. Too many families left to crying. Too many death knells have been rung. Let's say no to the NRA. If your congressman takes money from them, vote the other way. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. So everyone doesn't need a gun just to get through another day. Let's say no to the NRA. Let's say no to the NRA. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. Keep moving towards a better day. We don't need to have a mass shooting every day in this country. We can do better than that. We can bring some common sense gun laws to the USA. We don't need our children to be learning active shooter drills instead of how to read. We need to spend more money on education and have less guns on the streets. How about those two? We can work towards that. We can work towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity. If I had to choose just one day to last my whole life through, darling, I would choose that Sunday, the day that I found you. Newborn whippoorwills were calling from the hills. Summer was a-comin' in but fast. Lots of daffodils showing off their skills, all together swaying. You could almost hear them saying, go on and kiss her, go on and kiss her. If I had to choose one moment to live within my heart, it would surely be that moment, the moment when we started. Darling, it would be when you smiled at me one day, that Sunday, that summer. If I had to choose just one day to last my whole life through, Darling, I would choose that Sunday, the day that I found you. Newborn whippoorwills were calling from the hills. Summer was a-comin' in but fast. Lots of daffodils showing off their skills, all together swaying. You could almost hear them saying, go on and kiss her, go on and kiss her. If I had to choose one moment to last my whole life through, I would surely choose that moment, the moment when I met you. Darling, it would be when you smiled at me one day, that Sunday, that summer, that summer. That's life. That's what people say. Riding high in April, then shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. That's life. Funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks of stomping on a dream. But I ain't gonna let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I can't deny it. Thought of quitting, baby, but my heart ain't gonna buy it. But if I didn't think it was worth a single try, I'd just jump up on that big bird and I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. I can't deny it. Thought of cutting out, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a great big ball and die my. That's life. We gotta keep moving forward, though. You don't give up, you just keep moving forward. A lot of people are going through a lot of hard times, especially here on the streets. People living on the streets, it's not an easy life for them. And we certainly don't need to make it harder by criminalizing sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings the way Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre have done. So we need to vote out Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre. We've got to block Phil Brock because he wants to turn back the clock. We got to block Phil Brock because we are not going back. We've got to block Phil Brock because he just wants to turn back the clock. We've got to block Phil Brock because we are not going back. Balk. We've got to block Phil Brock. He wants to turn back the clock. We've got to block Phil Brock because we are not going back. We got to block Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre too. We've got to block Phil Brock and Oscar Tory. No, I won't say that. We got to block Phil Brock. He just wants to turn back the clock. We've got to block Phil Brock because we are not going block. No, we got to block Phil Brock. He wants to turn back the clock. We've got to block Phil Brock because we are not going block. That's right. We got to vote out Oscar De La Torre and Phil Brock because they don't believe in human rights. And we need people in charge who believe in human rights. Because if you criminalize sleeping bags and bedrolls for homeless human beings in the middle of a housing crisis, a homelessness crisis, you don't deserve to be in office in Santa Monica government. That's right. The people of Santa Monica need to speak out. They need to stand up and say, we don't stand for people who don't stand for human rights. So Phil Brock and Oscar De La Torre, you have to go. I sure hope enough people do that. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. I want to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica. I want Santa Monica to lead the way in these coastal communities standing up for human rights, because we know a lot of the coastal communities want to push poor people out and homeless people out. And when you push out a lot of poor people, when you push out all the poor people, you're going to push out people of color, and that's what they've been doing since the beginning of this city. They used eminent domain to take a lot of property from poor people and push out minority families. So you got to move in the other direction now, Santa Monica. Build more affordable housing and lead the way. Show people that local government can be part of the solution, can help people survive. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How much does the rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the days when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much? How much? How much? That's right. Does a human life have value other than the amount of money they generate? I think they do. I think every human being has a worth innately, and we need to stand up for every human being's right to exist. Whether they're making a lot of money or not, that's beside the point. A lot of the greatest people throughout history didn't make a lot of money. Great musicians, great artists, great writers. A lot of them died destitute, poor. Great singers. And we need to stand for everybody's right to become the person they want to become, as long as they're not hurting anybody else. That's what we need to work towards. Everybody working to be the person they want to be. How much does it cost to live? How much do you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth. And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful, most abundant country on the face of the earth? Peace. How much does the rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the days? When will we see the end of the days when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much, thank you, peace. I'll be sharing that with the homeless people. How much, how much, how much, how much, how much, how much? That's right. We'll keep working towards a better day, equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity, health care for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws, good public education. We can do great things in this country. We've done them before.
Like, this is your art?
No, somebody else made those signs for me.
How you doing, sir? My name's Christian.
Christian, nice to meet you.
I always wanted to play
I'm
guitar,
Wade.
but I do sports.
Wonderful. My name is Wade Kelley. I'm running for Santa Monica City Council.
For real?
Yes,
Hey,
I'm on the.
Wade,
I'm
you
on
wanna
the.
buy some bands from me and support me?
I'm poor.
I'm poor too, Wade,
But-
but I still got Nike SBs on that Chanel jacket. That's real, player.
I understand.
I'm like, we get free housing out here now. It's good.
Well, I hope someday.
We do it, basically.
Uh-huh.
Just get in the program. Yeah, you voted for. You gotta know those things. Wade Kelley.
That's me. That's me, Wade Kelley.
I'm glad I could tell you. My name is Christian Collins. I'm a Democrat.
Nice to meet you. And I'm a Democrat also. And I'm glad that Kamala Harris is running for president.
Honorably discharged, player.
And she wants to build 3 million units of housing in her first term in office. And I say, how many are we going to build here in Santa Monica? We need to make sure that everybody can have a decent place to live. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Move forward for a better day for you and me. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. We are not going back. Let's stand for democracy. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Move forward for a better day for you and me. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. We are not going back. Let's stand for democracy. That's right. We got to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity, health care for all, housing the homeless, common sense gun laws, good public education. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. So let's all join together and make sure that Kamala Harris gets voted into office as our first female president. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Move forward for a better day for you and me. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. Let's do the Kamala Harris waltz. We are not going back. Let's stand for democracy. We are not going back. Let's stand for democracy. Hey!
Sorry, Kamala Harris sucks.
Thank you. Peace.
Wait, listen, bro. Fucking Trump survived his assassination attempts. He's a capitalist gangster.
He doesn't believe in democracy.
Already been a
He doesn't believe in democracy.
It was more of a